It's a story that put this small community in the national spotlight. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Austin Harif attacked and killed a couple right up the street here. And the question remains, why did he do it?
Here comes one of those big gusts of rain and wind, and look how far the water has come up the parking lot since we last talked to you. I mean, just look at it rolling in. And this is one of those moments I was telling you where you can hardly see, if you look across the water, you can hardly see the Jupiter Lighthouse.
Busy to say the least, John. Take a look. Lines for gas so long. We have Florida State troopers here directing traffic tonight. It's fairly quiet right now, but of course, with most executions comes protesters. If you take a look behind me, we're only seeing one or two, but we do have a very heavy police presence. We are breaking into your regularly scheduled programming. A child taken from his home in Jupiter has been found. At one point, this line here, which is still very long, wrapped completely around the ballpark behind me. He says he was just working on a house next door when he noticed the fire. So he grabbed a hose and a coconut, throwing it through the window of this house, providing vital oxygen for the little girl trapped inside.
Those images coming in right now from St. Martin, from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Is that changing how people are perceiving this?
I think it is. I mean, I spoke to so many people here who are native Floridians. They've been here their entire life. They said they never evacuated. They just rode out storms before. But many of them leaving, heading up north today. A lot of people going towards Georgia or even just the center of the state towards Orlando. Eric, as you said, thousands of people gathered here tonight to remember those 49 angels whose lives were taken too soon. The message was clear that Orlando has grown stronger and more united than ever in the face of tragedy and terror. Developing right now, the family of one of the 8 patients who died after a Hollywood nursing home lost power after Hurricane Irma just filed an emergency lawsuit. Some major big trees have uprooted all along this street. I mean, uprooted so much that they've pushed the sidewalk up. Confederate monuments stood right here in the center of the Woodlawn Cemetery since 1941. And while the cemetery is owned by the city, the monument is owned by the United Daughters of the Confederacy. At least 21 people are dead and nearly 700 are still reported missing in the wildfires that are tearing through Northern California. They were very happy, cheering and clapping as the president gave the speech in the theater right here behind me. One woman I spoke with says she's hopeful for the future of Cuba. Loxahatchee Animal Rescue taking in abandoned dogs saved from a flooded shelter in Texas after Hurricane Harvey.
You can see very strong wind gusts coming through right now. I was just showing an app on my phone. They're measuring almost 50 miles per hour. But I can tell you the rain has stopped, and now that the sun has come up, things are a little less scary here. Crews began work here on the Okeechobee Waterway on Tuesday, thinking that it would only take a few days and that today would finally be the day that the barge came out of the water. But as you can see from our roof camera here on Marine Watch 12, well, it's still there. On the heels of the New York Times Harvey Weinstein sexual harassment expose comes a blockbuster New Yorker article alleging 3 women have accused the Hollywood mogul of rape.